This has been about the United States objectives in getting rid of an indicted narco-terrorist and making sure that the United States interests are protected. One of the obvious good byproducts of this flawlessly executed operation is that, it could lead to a democratic transition and the freedom of the Venezuelan people, which have experienced the largest migratory crisis, or one of the largest migratory crises on the globe, with 8 million migrants fleeing from Venezuela. So it's a great day in Miami for the Venezuelan community. They are extremely supportive of the courageous decision that the president has taken. No surprise, obviously, because the president has made many courageous decisions. And what's really unfortunate is that we live in such a toxic political environment that instead of just saying, look, we may not agree with you on a bunch of things, but on this particular issue, Mr. President, kudos to you. You did the right thing. You made the right decision. It took courage. It was flawlessly executed by your Department of War, guided by the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and the law enforcement community of the United States that led the operation. Congratulations. And we just live in a world where you can't do that anymore. And that's not the kind of political world that I grew up in.
No, it will not. There's speculation that the U.S. could take action against Cuba next. And that's another country with a large Miami area population. What happens to Miami if Cuba collapses?
I think, first of all, for people like me, who was born in the United States, I'm the first Miami-born, I was the first Miami-born mayor in the history of the city. My father was the first Cuban mayor. It'll be an opportunity for us to actually see the place of our parents' birth. I've actually never been to Cuba. I've never seen Cuba. So I think for many Miamians, they're going to take advantage of the opportunity, if there's a democratic transition in Cuba, to go see it, right? And certainly I think it's going to help the Cuban economy if and when that happens. Look, as the Secretary of State said, I would not be the president of Cuba or any Cuban official sleeping, well at night, knowing what I just saw in Venezuela. I think what the president did has reverberated around the world. And I think, at some point, the first thing that has to happen, of course, and I think what the president and what the Secretary of State is focused on is step 2 in Venezuela, right? Making sure that this military law enforcement operation is followed through with the leverage that the United States can apply to hopefully have a quick and peaceful democratic transition in Venezuela, which lays the groundwork for other activities that the United States might take. But I remember several years ago that I talked about a military intervention, and I was criticized heavily for that. And we just saw a very successful one in Venezuela, like we saw in Nicaragua. I'm sorry, in Panama before. My apologies.
When it works, it works.